Well, I thank the senator from Rhode Island for those effusive words about the great state of Texas. And I would note that for more than a decade, we have had over 1,000 people a day fleeing blue states, such as those represented by the Democrat members of this committee, and coming to Texas. We right now have over 1,500 people a day coming to Texas because Texas is where the jobs are and you can raise your family safely and with prosperity. The ranking member of the full committee, Senator Durbin, has asked to give an opening statement as well. Senator Durbin.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Last year, President Trump asked a room full of oil industry executives to raise $1 billion for his reelection campaign. And in return, he promised to reverse the environmental policies of the Biden administration. Big oil, big fossil fuel eagerly took Trump up on his offer. They didn't quite make it to $1 billion for his campaign, but fossil fuel companies spent over $400 million to elect Donald Trump and other Republicans in the 2024 election cycle. It seems their money was well spent. In less than 6 months, the Trump administration has gutted staff at the EPA, moved to special regulations that ensure clean air and water, repeal regulations that ensure clean air and water, instructed agencies to stop considering the cost of carbon emissions, and scrubbed even the mention of climate change from government documents and websites. In our audience today are a lot of students and interns. Welcome to Washington. Many of us have been through your experience. I'm glad you're watching this hearing, because this hearing is all about you and world you're going to live on. And whether or not the weather you noticed in June in the District of Columbia is going to be weather you're going to notice in May and April as well. That's what's at stake here. They say when it comes to heat in Washington, it isn't the temperature, it's the stupidity. The stupidity of Congress when it comes to ignoring climate change, when ignoring what is happening right outside the door. Who wants to place a bet that the overall temperature on the earth is not going to go up this year over last year, and next year over this year, and on and on and on? And you're thinking about finishing college, getting a job, raising a family, owning a home. This is your world. We can try to hatch conspiracy theories about the Chinese and God knows what else. But the bottom line is, what are we doing about it? What are we doing for you about it so that your generation has a fighting chance to have a place that's habitable and livable? I decided 4 or 5 years ago to take advantage of the tax credits that were available to put solar panels on your home. It didn't catch on in my neighborhood. I'm the only one with solar panels. But let me tell you the reality of the situation. My electric bill in Springfield, Illinois used to be $120 a month. It's now $15. My solar panels are working out pretty nicely. But what are they doing now with the new bills they're considering, the reconciliation bills and others? They're doing their best to eliminate all these tax credits and incentives to put solar panels on your home. Why? What in the hell is so insidious and dangerous about a solar panel? That was my conscious decision and my investment, and I think it'll pay off nicely for me. Why would you want to set out to do this? Because the fossil fuel industry hates them like the devil hates holy water. They hate solar panels, but we put them on there, and I'm glad we did. President Trump also instructed the Justice Department to sue the states that have enacted laws to force fossil fuel companies to pay for the cost of their pollution, and to block lawsuits intended to hold the fossil fuel industry accountable. Now Republicans are trying to repeal the tax incentives like the one I just mentioned on my solar panels in my home as part of the president's so-called big, beautiful bill. Less clean energy means what? More pollution, more heat on this planet, higher electricity bills for Americans. Who's going to profit from that? The fossil fuel industry, exactly. Climate change is real, and it's a huge threat to our economy, our environment, and our way of life. These facts are undeniable. We need you as young people in America to stand up and say to our generation, get the hell out of the way. You're screwing up this planet, and we have to live with it. So give us something that's more hopeful and positive, and it isn't by finding conspiracy theories involving China. Instead of holding this partisan hearing to push conspiracy theories and fossil fuel industry-funded attacks on state climate policy, we should be holding bipartisan meetings to address the cost of climate change and to identify bipartisan ideas to produce more clean energy, create jobs, and lower energy bills across the country, and maybe give you an earth that you can live on. I yield.
I thank the ranking member, and I would note that both of my Democrat colleagues in their remarks had not a word to say about Communist China funneling millions of dollars to pay for these lawsuits. Miraculously, that was